Welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you're seeing me, my name is Riley, and this is the Booktube Newbie Tag. This I am just doing today to kind of give an idea of who I am, what I read, and what you can expect to find on my channel. I've made a few other videos like book hauls, monthly wrap-ups. I'd love to have you here. Please subscribe if you're interested, or if you'd like to have a discussion. I would really enjoy that too. Just to introduce myself, my name is Riley. I'm 30, so I'm a little older than I think the typical booktube. I don't know about audience, but the typical booktuber, I think I'm a little older than. A little more about me. I have 2 dogs. I'm going to try to insert pictures. You might have seen Tito before. He's our little white chihuahua. And then we have Tuna, who is our little long-haired chihuahua guy. They're my babies. I am married and actually live in New Jersey, right outside of Philadelphia. So I'm going to get into the questions now. Why did you start this channel? I really started this channel because I like to read and I wanted to talk about it with people and talk, oh hi. So why did I start this channel? I started this channel because I wanted to talk about books. I wanted to share what I was enjoying and hopefully other people will share with me. I watch Booktube, I love Booktube, but like I said, I just wanted a little bit more. Number 2, what are some fun and unique things you bring to Booktube? You can bring to Booktube. I don't know. I don't think I'm like especially fun or unique. I just really wanted to bring myself into the conversation. That sounds so like weird and self-absorbed when I say it like that. Number 3, what are you most excited for about this channel? And again, I think just talking to people who are interested in similar books as I am. I love sharing what I'm reading. A lot of my friends don't read what I read. Even my friends who do read a lot, we don't read the same things. We're not interested in the same things. So number 4 is, why do you love reading? And I love reading because of course it's just an escape from reality for me, especially during this pandemic, which is when I've started reading again. I had a long hiatus there, but just the escapism. I love learning, and I love learning in ways, obviously you can pick up a nonfiction book and read about someone's life, read about important topics, but reading in a story and being taught a lesson, I really like learning that way. I really like learning about important issues that way. Those are both reasons that I enjoy reading. I mean, there's a million reasons I love reading, and I love reading different topics and genres for different reasons. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? And this is going to be like a 3-part answer. I would say I've always loved reading. I've had a few times in my life where I haven't been reading that much, but really I started reading young. I started reading a lot at a young age, so I have never disliked reading. I can just recall like Amelia Bedelia, Goosebumps, Dear God, Are You There? It's Me, Margaret, I think is the name of that. So Judy Blume, just all of those books as a kid. And growing up then, like teenage years, I was reading a lot more classics, and I was a little bit of like a book snob because I read classics. But Sylvia Plath, The Bell Jar, was a book I read, and I immediately was like, not only did I love that book, but I was like, how can my feelings be portrayed in a way that I actually understand? It sounds like people understand me. So that was another book that got me even more immersed into reading. And then I took a long break. Well, I took a short break first. I read some 50 Shades of Grey in there, and I was like, oh, this is different. I don't think I really looked down on it. It just wasn't, I didn't know what to expect, and it wasn't what I was expecting, and I think I was a little caught off guard, but nonetheless, I read all of the books, so I liked them, I guess, to some degree. So that, so those 2 kind of eras, and then recently, I'd say the 3 books that got me back into reading as an adult, reading what I want to read whenever I want to read it, would be Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, which wasn't my favorite book ever. I think I gave it like a 3-star. I did like it, but it was just a book that I read in 24 hours, and I just thought, wow, if this book that I think is mediocre I can read in 24 hours, what are books that I love? Like, the books out there that I love, what can I do with that? So that was a big catalyst. Then I read Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson, I think, and that was a great nonfiction book that made me realize I can read nonfiction and not hate it. And then The Shadows by Alex North. That was a mystery thriller book that I read, and similar feelings. If this is a 4-star book, what's a 5-star book going to look like for me, and how much will I love that if I loved this? 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? How do you read so many books? Like, I know a lot of them have full-time jobs, or go to school full-time, so I don't know how they manage that, but I would love to know. What other questions? I think that's really, I can't think of anything, and this seems like an interview question where they ask you if you have any more questions, and you feel dumb because you don't, and you're trying to like eloquently get out of it while also retaining the job. Number 7, I'm just looking down because my computer's here. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I would say 1, reading a lot of books. I think a lot of people read 15 plus books a month, and I'm just not there. I'm not doing that. So it's hard for me to, I don't want to say compete. I think people watch YouTubers, booktubers, whoever for the content. However, I also think that when someone is only sharing 5 books versus 15, you might gravitate towards someone who has a lot of things to offer. So that's a big one. I think also any criticism, I mean, you're putting yourself out there online, you're going to face some criticism, even small booktubers, I'm sure, to some degree face some criticism. I don't think, and I am a very sensitive person, so like maybe some people have an easier time with this and they're just like, who cares? But I am sensitive, and so criticism is hard. And then I am naturally introverted. I have a hard time wanting to talk to people. So making friends on here, even though that's something that's super important to me with making this channel, is making friends and having support, and support who knows what you're going through making these videos. Not that this is like the hardest feat ever or anything, but like, you know, someone who understands. It's hard for me. It's not easy for me. When did you start reading? Very young, super young. I was very, very lucky in that my parents, every single night since I can remember, my first memories, my parents sitting in bed with me, reading a book with me at night. They always did that. They worked kind of shitty schedules, but they still read books to me at night, and that's super important to me. And I don't have kids, but I do have a baby niece, and we're very diligent in also instilling that in her. We're reading to her. I always try to open a book, read a little, show her the books. I mean, she's very small, but still, just getting that ball rolling. I just think it's so important. So I've always been a reader, always loved reading. Number 9, where do you read? All over. I don't think I'll take pictures because right now my house is a mess because we've been snowed in, but I like to read in my bed at night. And I also read on our couch downstairs in the living room. I also, when we went on vacation, I would read in the car. My husband and I really like to take road trips, so I'll read a little in the car. Not a ton. I do get sick, but it takes a little bit more for me to get sick now, especially with the Kindle for some reason. So I'll read in the car. I'll read wherever, but I don't like to stop in the middle of a paragraph. So as long as I have somewhere that I can go for the 5 to 20 minutes it takes for me to like finish a section or a chapter, that's super important to me. Number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? I mean, these are some of my read books. I would say a lot of mystery, thriller, suspense, romance, and I like some darker romance. So I'm starting to like dabble in it. But I like romance. I read some contemporary this month, which you'll see in the wrap up. I've been reading fantasy, science fiction, YA. I like all different stuff. I would say I just gravitate towards mystery, thriller, suspense, and romance. And then 11 is, what does your book collection look like? I will show a video, but this is some of my read books. I have some more downstairs, not a ton, but I have like a collection of these Janet Ivanovich books. And then I have you can't see it at all on here, but my to be read up here. Okay, so this is just part of my collection. This is part of the haul, the stack. These are just, like I said, some books that I have not read yet that I just have sitting up here on this bookshelf. The books that I have read, and desk cover for a book that my mother-in-law borrowed and then returned, and I just haven't put it back. So that's that. If I get a chance, I'll show you downstairs. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. If you would please subscribe if you want to see more. If you are a booktuber, please comment, and I would love to follow you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.